Yeah, you say banter. I just left Rendezburger 15 minutes ago. He was pulled up, asked me where I was going, what I was doing. I mean, no reason. I'm in my truck. I wasn't even on my motorcycle. I'm in my truck. He's asking me where I'm going, what I'm doing. You know, I told him I'm probably going the same place you're going. He asked me to dinner. I told him that he was fine, I'd go. He said, no, I make all the money, so I should be taking them. And then he smiled and took off. And that was 15 minutes, 20 minutes ago.
So, if you talked to him before, have you had?
I don't know. He pulled up, said my name, ran. I don't know him.
So, you guys haven't had kind of a bantered relationship?
No,
well, don't worry about it. I'll be talking to him later.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just got one question. When and where was this meeting you're talking about where the officer was allowed to talk? And I thought if we left the first meeting in November that we were all going to be included in what was happening, and how come we weren't included?
So the meeting that I'm talking about occurred at the sheriff's office, and it was with the leadership of the Southside Vanguard. And then there was another meeting here, and then this is the follow-up meeting.
There was another meeting here, but we were told when we left here in November, we had a representative that was representing the bike, who could not be invited to the meeting. Yeah. Why were we invited?
You're totally invited. Bill Bynum was responsible for it. Let me finish. Yeah. But this meeting that we met with at the sheriff's, it was a gang-involved shooting of one of our teenagers here in the community, and we met to talk about the gang situations and shootings that took place. Well, this is the meeting, Bill, let's speak to that in. Let's get the dates right.
You're right. We had a meeting here about 14, and I raised a question why you weren't here. And then I was directed to invite you to the next meeting because of that omission.
So what, can we ask what was said that we weren't allowed to hear?
At the meeting here?
Yeah.
Well, Bill, I don't think anything was said out of line, just discussing. You remember the discussions we had? I know we were talking about setting up neighborhood watches and other things, but you're more than welcome to share if you have any recollection.
From my recollection, most class clubs were painted at a game. That's my recollection.
No,
I
got it.
you needed to be here.
So we understood the words were said. You didn't want the bike to be here because you guys didn't want us to learn your tactics. Is that true?
So, I'm happy to meet with members of the Vanguard, and they asked me to come meet. If you want to meet, I'd be happy to meet with you.
We were part of this thing from the start. We came in November. We all started, you guys listened to what we said. We were invited to be part of it. All of a sudden, we're outlaws and criminals, so we're not allowed to participate in the meeting.
I don't control who comes to the meetings.
Yes, you did.
No, I didn't.
You didn't invite us.
You did invite us, though.
It's not my responsibility to invite it. I don't lead the Vanguard.
Yeah, pretty much, we take full responsibility for the Vanguard, and, like Bill said, if something was done out of order, we want to make sure that we get it back in order. We can't change what happened, but we know that we can go from this point on and make sure that we, have an inclusive relationship with every one of us in our community.
So my question is trespassing illegal if you have signs up?
So,
My name's Kyle, by the way.
yes, and you're the individual they pulled into your driveway, correct?
Yes, they did. It's on YouTube.
Yeah, we looked at it. Thank you very
Yeah,
much.
isn't that illegal? I mean, for me to have the signs actually there, them to pull on my property, ignoring the signs for no reason, and I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm not on parole. I'm not on probation. So what were they doing in my house?
Well, I understand that they saw you outside, they pulled in to say hello, to talk with you. You weren't interested in that?
No, my brother was out there actually washing his bike, and they came out and they were like, "Oh, isn't this a bike wash?" don't come on my property. And it says, no trespassing.
And they haven't been back since, have they?
Oh yeah, they come back and sit on the outside of the fence.
They don't go in your fence, correct?
No, they don't.
Okay.
But isn't that against the law for them? Isn't that illegal for them to come on my property when it's stated?
With no trespassing?
No trespassing.
Well, I'd have to look at your sign, but Mr. Rand?
No, not illegal. It's not illegal? Why not? So it's not illegal for me to go on somebody else's property that says, no trespassing? So if you got a badge, it's okay. You can do what you want when you got a badge. Gotcha.
Ass motherfuckers.
Hi, my name is Grace. I'm the CFO for Handy Riders. Last year, I came to Dave at UBMC after I went to several places in the community and did not get any help. I went to Dave and he immediately said that they would help us. And they helped us to survive last year. And then I came to him again and said things are worse financially for us. This program is for special needs kids and adults. We're having serious financial problems right now. The only person that would reach out and help us is the biker community. And I just want to speak in their favor. If it weren't for them, we would have had to close our doors already.
Again, and I appreciate the work that you're doing. I think it's important.
I think it's great, and they're not a gang.
Hello, I'm John. I run the Modified Motorcycle Association meeting that our buddy is always hanging around. My question is, why, or is it illegal for a deputy for a parked motorcycle to walk around and pick up everybody's helmet and look at it? Is that a legal search?
Pick up the helmet and look at it?
Pick up the helmet and look at it off of a parked motorcycle.
I'll have to ask them why they're doing that.
Yeah.
That's not the question.
I'll inquire as to why they're doing that.
But that wasn't the question.
Yeah, what?
That's an illegal search, correct?
Not necessarily.
Why is it not necessarily?
Yes,
You're the lawyer.
But why?
Yeah.
Is it a search? You're asking, is it a search for the officer to pick up a helmet?
The person was not present.
And look inside of it?
Yes.
Then you may have a problem. If you look on the outside of the helmet.
No, he picked it up and looked inside the helmet.
You didn't say that.
The fact
More
that he
than
touches
once.
it and picks it up makes it a
Looked at the
seizure.
helmet.
Yeah.
Yes, it does. That's against the Fourth Amendment, sir.
But so as long as he picks it up and looks at the outside, it's not illegal. Is that what you're trying to say? As long as he picks it up and looks at it from the outside, that's legal. All right.
Go ahead and answer your question, sir.
All right. My name's Connor, and I'm here to ask. So as long as he picks it up and looks at it from the outside, that's legal. Even though it was on my property, it's parked motorcycle, it's sitting there. He picks it up and just looks at the outside of the helmet. That's legal. That's perfectly fine.
Not considered a search.
But he can pick it up off my property.
Why would he not pick it up?
Why would he pick it up?
Hey,
All the stamps
what we
are on the
wanna do,
outside.
If it's okay if I, to take the liberty, maybe, Mike, you can meet, with those individuals and do it in another forum. We had an opportunity to voice our concerns tonight on this matter, and if you can follow up with, Mike Ramsey, I think that we can put it to sleep. Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, my question is why Officer Paley mainly is harassing. We have a family club. We're not outlaws, we're not gang, we're a family club. We've gone places. He's come to us in the gas station in his personal vehicle and threatened to come back and pull us over when he goes and gets in his police vehicle because he didn't like the fact that how we were together.
So, if that's the case, when did that happen?
That happened on
I don't know the exact date. That happened about 2 months.
2 months ago.
So, that's what I was talking about earlier. It would have been good to report that at the time so that we could have looked into it at the time. That's not too late, but those are the kind of things that you should file a complaint about, and then we'll look into it.
just as a question on top of that, if he's in his personal vehicle, how are we supposed to show that he did that to us when we just drove into a gas station? I mean, we weren't expecting him to be there, so we didn't have cameras or anything.
Well, I understand that, but he's gonna write out the details of what took place, and we're gonna
Not on
investigate.
his own personal time.
Okay.
Okay, thank you very much. Our 20 minutes for this segment has just arrived. Has just arrived.
One more question.
You're welcome to ask.
Okay, say that he picks that helmet up and turns it upside down. Something falls out of it. Is that a legal search? Is that gonna stand up in court?
You have reasonable cause, sir.
Yeah, prove reasonable cause.
Yes.
So
Thank you very much for all the comments and observations. Now, the reason I'm not gonna let you ask the questions, sir, and sit down, is because we had the 7 people that were, that raised their hand, stand up, and we could go on and on and on. So. Okay, if you can bring the mic to this gentleman there. We'd like for everyone to hear your question.
My name's Mike, I'm president of Wanderers Motorcycle Club. We are a 2-patch club, we are a family club. You know, we're not gang members, a bunch of old parts that ride around. But I want to know the meeting that we could have came to but we weren't invited to, that I heard that you showed a picture of me saying hello to another club, and that proved that I'm a gang member and that we're a puppet club for the Hells Angels.
Actually, no, there was a Hells Angel member standing in the background. That's what the.
So that makes me a gang member because,
No, the picture was taken.
oh, it wasn't Peggy walked right up to me and took the picture.
Well, again, there was a Hells Angel back there. I remember, didn't I ask you last time if you were aware of Hells Angel in the area?
No.
You didn't? I could have sworn that I did.
Yes, me.
And I'm not in a meeting you did outside. I don't know. I have no idea where the Hells Angels are. I haven't seen them here. But, so I'm at the same place where they're at, and I shake one of their hands, so that throws me into the kettle as a gang member?
No, that
And
is
that we're a
not.
puppet club for the Hells Angels?
No, that is not.
Well, that's what I was told at the meeting that we were invited to that we didn't know about.
Again, that is not.
Okay, somebody's not.
Thank you. We want to thank everyone for your questions and observations. We got to move on. We got to move on. We got to stay true to our agenda at this time. And once again, you know, we can always follow up, you know, and we can write some things because when it's all said and done, we want to make sure we do everything decency and in order and show respect for everyone. So at this time, we're going to go to our next agenda item. That's going to be the annexation update. We have our mayor from